cavalry today. It's just worth remembering too that one of the initial announcements just a few hours ago from the Queen was that Prince William would be known as the Duke of Cambridge, Catherine as Her Royal Highness the Duchess of Cambridge. Another two titles for the Prince, the Earl of Strathern and Baron Carrickfergus. We're approaching the time when William and Harry will emerge and make their way over to the Abbey. This actually is a statement today as well, a break with tradition, because normally in these royal weddings the groom would be making his way just in time, and that's not the case today because he wants to build in at least 20-25 minutes time at the Abbey to circulate with friends there. The look from the sky might give us a clue. There, the building, the white building, just at the top centre of the shot. Lancaster House is the big building on the left, and there you have the great green expanse of St James's Park and the Mall. We Want Wills is the chant in the Mall, and I suspect that it's just a matter of seconds before they emerge and make their way. A sea of Union flags and all kinds of memorabilia already bought, and lots of stands throughout St James's Park yesterday. And there you see a really magnificent display of flags all the way up the Mall towards Admiralty Arch. They'll be leaving in one of the state limousines, one of the state cars. I think it's going to be a Bentley, one of the 8 limousines in the Royal Mews. And for those of you joining us, just a reminder that the journey there will take place in cars, and they'll return in the traditional horse-drawn carriages. And when we catch the first glimpse of them today, again, to think of yet another break with tradition, Prince Harry travelling in the car as best man, not as a supporter, as they're traditionally called by the royal family, but wants to be known, Prince William wants him to be known as his best man today. Another signal that they want this to be less formal, a little more accessible. Normally it's the bride, of course, who keeps us waiting, but today it's the groom. But to be fair, it's not really a matter of panic at this stage, because there's a good 45 minutes to go before the service starts. They're on their way. And a splash of red, which tells us that Prince William is in his uniform as Colonel of the Irish Guards. He was appointed Colonel of the Irish Guards in February by the Queen. The first royal colonel for that regiment. Prince Harry is an officer in the Household Cavalry, the Blues and Whites. They're looking calm, they're looking contented, looking very together, and acknowledging the crowd very happily. And I'm told reliably that Prince Harry does have the ring in his possession. He's carrying the ring with him to the Abbey. It's a great sight. The expanse of the Mall, as Prince William of Wales makes his way to Westminster Abbey for his wedding. Now known as the Duke of Cambridge, the Earl of Strathern and Baron Carrickfergus. But I suspect he'll always want to be known, quite simply, as Prince William. Cars turn right towards Horse Guards Parade. Very familiar route for the princes, because they're often here in June for the Queen's birthday parade. This year, of course, Prince William will be on parade as Colonel of the Irish Guards. Prince William, who is now a fully functioning Sea King helicopter pilot, serving at RAF Valley in Anglesey, North Wales. That's where he's been living for some time. And Catherine Middleton there too. They're looking forward to, they say, a relatively quiet existence after today's great pomp and ceremony. A salute from the Guard of Honour in the tilt yard outside the Horse Guards building. That building, by the way, still officially the entrance to the Royal Palaces. And that's why it's being used today. And out onto Whitehall, where the crowds were gathering at 5 o'clock this morning. Past the memorial on the left to the women of the Second World War. Past Downing Street, where there'll be a street party later on. And past the Senator. The two princes salute the war dead. Prince Harry, who's recently been promoted, by the way. He's captain in the Household Cavalry in Blues and Royals, but he's on attachment to the Army Air Corps. Promoted earlier this month after spending 5 years in the Army. Joined in January '06. And of course, he famously served in Afghanistan a few years ago. Through Parliament Square, very soon they'll be at the Great West Door of the Abbey. All along Broad Sanctuary, crowds are 20 deep, and then you have the massed ranks of the world's media ready to take those memorable images. There they are up on the right-hand side. The banner of Westminster Abbey and the crest of Edward the Confessor still flying above the Northwest Tower. That will change when the Queen arrives. The bells of Westminster Abbey ring out as Prince William arrives for his wedding service. There we have a better view, really, of Prince William. His garter sash and star, the 1,000th member of the Garter admitted by the Queen, and his RAF wings. And the ring of bells of Westminster Abbey. And after this service, there'll be a special peal which will last 3 hours when the service is complete. The Dean of Westminster on the right, Dr. John Hall. He's responsible for the spiritual life of the Abbey. He's answerable to the Sovereign. Westminster Abbey is what we call a royal peculiar. The senior clergy here are answerable to the Sovereign and not to any archbishop or other part of the Anglican communion. There's a very strong bond between the monarch as Prince William will be one day, and Westminster Abbey. And this, of course, is where one day he will be crowned king. Quite a responsibility for Prince Harry, not just for the speech which he has to deliver later, but he had the stag do to organise, which he apparently did with a good deal of energy and diligence and secrecy. It gave him a lot of pleasure. And what's going to happen is that the Receiver General of Westminster Abbey, who's responsible for all the administration of the Abbey, will lead the Prince and his best man, his brother, of course, Prince Harry, along the nave. They'll know all about the flowers and the trees because they were part of planning them. And they've seen them in a few rehearsals, so it will not take them by surprise. I'm sure they'll be delighted with the result. Leading them all the way along the nave, through the choir screen, the organ loft, which splits the Abbey, in a sense, and then into the choir for the more intimate area where that wedding ceremony will take place in about 40 minutes' time. Since 1066, it's a remarkable thing to say, every coronation has taken place here, apart from two, Edward V and Edward VIII weren't crowned, but every other king and queen crowned here at Westminster Abbey. It is a cradle of royal power. And Simon Sharma, the historian, still with me, and as we see Prince William making his way here, we feel all that history resonating.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, 1066 was, as everybody out there knows, don't have to be a history graduate to know, there was a very quick coronation for Harold, who made sure that he was staking his claim in front of Edward the Confessor, and he came to grief. But what William, now the Duke of Cambridge, must be feeling is that this, in some sense, is the overture to a great arc of a career in front of him, which indeed will be consummated in a much more formal, august, solemn way when he's crowned.
William, as promised, is just greeting a few friends and other acquaintances. I think he's talking to the Spencer family here, and members of the Spencer family, two sisters of the late Diana, and Earl Spencer, a brother, is also in this group on the left-hand side. I think Harry's just having a word with him there. The princes are very good friends with Earl Spencer's children. Three daughters are sitting just a few rows back. And this group in the lantern does contain, in the back rows, quite a few of those close friends of William and Kate. The Sultan of Brunei is making his way into the Abbey.